What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Irving TV, here with another video for y'all. I'm currently on the road to 100 subscribers, so if you could do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that way you can get the latest videos from me as well. And yes, y'all are reading the title correctly. I just quit my job, and the reason why I quit my job is to become a full-time YouTuber. No, I'm just joking. But all jokes aside, I did just put in my 2 weeks notice to the current job that I'm at right now. I'm still not gonna say where I work at least not for a good while till I get settled with my new job and everything like that. But got a new job and still in the same field that I'm in. Except instead of just a retail pharmacy technician, I'm now working with an insurance company now. So I will be helping running claims through and things like that. So it's been a long road with the company that I work with now. It's been about almost 5 years. It would have been 5 years if I would have stayed till January. So, but it was time for me to go. Now, I will say this. Well, first of all, I don't know if I said it before, but it's definitely a better opportunity. Though I will say I did take a pay cut, not a huge one, but it was a small pay cut. And the reason why I was willing to take a small pay cut, it was because, well, let me tell you the reason why I got another job. I'm not going to get into too much details because I don't want to, bash the company because that's not professional. I mean, even though I'm on YouTube, I mean, I still have a life to live at the end of the day. I still gotta, report to these people. And even after I go to my next job, them other jobs don't like when you bash an old job because then they be like, okay, if he's gonna bash them, he's gonna bash us. But anyway, let me tell you why I got another job. For those that don't know, as I said in one of my videos on the video that I said how do I make money, I cannot speak right today. But the video where I talk about my field and what I do for a living as a pharmacy technician, I did say the field was stressful, which it is, especially in retail, and that's why I currently work at right now. Some of the things that have been going on at work, like I said, I'm not gonna get into too much details, but it was a lot of drama, I should say, and a lot of things that I wasn't happy with at the retail store that I work at. It was it was many things, It was the environment which was very busy, which I can take a busy environment. It's just management. What I mean by management, I meant upper management. There was a couple of things that I didn't agree with, some things I was not happy with, and a lot of this was going on throughout the entire time I was working with this company. And now, no, there's going to be no perfect job. I accepted it a long time ago, and I learned that a long time ago. There's no such thing as a perfect job. There might be a great job, but it's never be perfect. Even a job that you're happy to get up and, you're happy, you're excited, and you're ready to go in. Even those kind of jobs, you're gonna have some days where you're like, oh my goodness, I do not feel like coming back here. In this case, it was much more recurring, and there was times I didn't want to go because it's just I was not happy with with the things that was going on. And this was happening throughout the time I was working in the field. But see, what happened was there was times where I was thinking about leaving, and as soon as I'm ready to start the process, then my yearly raise would come in. And as I said before in one of my other that video I was telling you about earlier, it wouldn't be like no mundane raise like a few cents. There was some pretty good raises. Like I'm on my first raise when I first got into the company, it was a 50-cent raise, which it went from 9.50 to $10 an hour, and then when I got promoted, it went from $10 an hour to 12.50, which was pretty cool. And then it went from 12.50 to 15 something an hour, which I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting a decent raise, but not no raise like that. I was not expecting it at all. So when I was ready to leave, it was like, okay, you just got a raise. Okay, cool. I'm like, if I got a raise this big, it might get better throughout time. I was like, I'm stressed out, but I'm getting paid well, and you know. So then earlier this year, when I got my raise again, and went from 15 and some change to now where I'm at right now, which is 17 and some change. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'll stay a little longer. But see, here was the problem. The company, not just the store, but the company itself was making some decisions which I was not happy with. Like, we was, like I said, I'm not going to say any names and I'm not going to, you know, put that out there. But we was buying out another company doing some type of merge or whatever. And because of this, the company made a lot of cuts. And the one thing, the biggest thing that got cut was the payroll. So they cut a lot of hours off everybody. And mind you, we're always busy. We got a lot of work to do. You know, people constantly come in, and it's just busy. So when they make those cutbacks, it was already hard enough to do these jobs with the hours. Now, without the hours, without the manpower, it was almost nearly impossible um, to do the work. So, but that's not what pushed me. It was one of the contributing factors. But what really pushed me was now mind you, let me say this real quick. Now mind you, I'm a full time employee, a full time supervisor. You know, I'm a full time supervisor. So I'm thinking now, full time in most companies or most businesses, whatever have you, is 30 and above. So I'm not, because it's retail, I'm not expecting to get 40 hours every single. I'm not expecting that. I'm not expecting that. That's a great week for me. If I get 40 hours a week, that's a, to me, the way I look at it, that's a bonus because I'm not used to getting full, 40 hours a week. Because there'll be some weeks you get 35, some weeks you get 32. But it's retail. I'm like, at least with the minimal amount, I can still, I'm semi comfortable with that, because I know eventually I will move up even more, and I know eventually I will move to a better position because I'm going to school for IT. So I didn't have no problem with just getting 30 hours a week. I didn't have no problem. I was a little tight, but I was able to pay my bills and do what I want to do, things like that. The problem kicked in when I started getting less than 30 hours a week. Now, let that sink in for a second. Full-time employee, not just a full-time employee, full-time supervisor, lead technician is getting less than 30 hours. So I'm getting less than full-time hours. And the thing was, one of my technician who was under me, nothing against that technician at all. I have nothing against her. She was getting more hours than I was. Mind you, I've been working for the company for almost 5 years. I am a full-time supervisor. And she's getting more than me. She's getting more hours than me. I don't know what her pay is, whatever. I don't know that because, we're not allowed to discuss that. But the fact that a technician that is under me is getting more hours than I am. There was times when we get even hours, which I have no problem with. But when I'm getting 29, 28 hours, and this technician is getting 32, 33, at one point both of us was getting under 30 hours. At one point, but then hers would increase and mine would kind of decrease or stay in that area. There was times where I get like only 27 hours a week, and because, like I said, I have nothing against her, no problem against her. It was the management and how the company, handle things, and it's getting to the point that in order to get a decent check, I was now using my vacation time that I had accrued due to the fact that there was other situations as well when I tried to take a vacation and it got screwed up. I'm not going to get into that. But that's what really pushed me was the fact that that I was getting under 30 hours. Now, lately I have been getting 30 plus hours, but when it came to the point, I was like, I'm already going through the stress of trying to keep up with this job, trying to keep everything organized, despite all the challenges that's going on. And now I can't even get paid properly for all my hard work. That's when I finally made the decision and said, this is enough. After 4 years of going back and forth, with all the issues, and all jobs gonna have its issues, but if the benefits are worth it. Good benefits like health insurance, a good pay, good retirement plan and all that stuff. If all of that is good, you're gonna look past the bad. Although I will say this, just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean, it's peace of mind over everything. And I'm gonna get to that in a second. But it's always peace of mind. Just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean you're happy. So I'm gonna get to that in a second. So after this, like I said, I just came to the point like I can't do it no more. Because what's gonna happen is if I stay even longer, if I stay even longer, and then they give me another raise, it's gonna be a good raise, but it's still gonna get bad. I said I'm probably gonna snap. So, like I said, I was willing to. I mean, I get paid probably much more than your average technician. So when it came down to it, I was like, I know I'm probably going to take a small cut. There was a number I didn't want to go anything below. There was a number that I didn't want to go anything below. So, and I'm right at that number. So I'm happy with it because it could possibly be a much better environment. I'm not dealing with this, and that. Now, I will say this is a call center, and I know how stressful call centers can be, but the way that I look at it, I say it can't be, no worse than the situation I'm in now because at least with this, I'm getting consistent hours. It's a consistent schedule. There's no last minute changes to the schedule and, things of that nature. With this, I'm getting 40 hours a week. I have a consistent schedule from 10 to 6:30 from Sunday through Thursday. That is my schedule. So, that's why I was willing to take the pay cut because I was like peace of mind over everything. And actually, one time when I was working at my old store, there was a pharmacist that was working at another store, and mind you, she just had twin babies. So taking care of twin babies and all that stuff. At her old store, she had the perfect schedule. Perfect schedule, be able to balance out her life. And she was working no more than she was working like 30, 35 hours, like the lower 30 areas, which worked out pretty well for her. But then when when the company transferred her to our store, she was working more than basically 40 hours, a little bit more. And, she didn't have time to take care of her children and things like that. And she couldn't deny the transfer because otherwise she wouldn't have a job. So what she did was she got another job at a hospital, which pharmacists don't get paid as much at a hospital. So she took a pay cut. But I remember talking to her, it was like, it's peace of mind, if you still got the money to take care of your family, if you got enough money to take care of your family, go ahead and take the job because, mind you, pharmacists make six figures usually. So at the most, she probably got cut down to maybe 90,000. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but still, that's more than enough to take care of your family. And and if you're comfortable with this new job, then you're comfortable. You got that peace of mind. So, within saying this, I did this for a peace of mind. Now I know, this situation ain't gonna be permanent because eventually I'm gonna go into the field of IT. But the way I look at this, like I said, I'm in the field of now I'm in a call center. So with that, when you usually go into IT, you're usually doing tech support or help desk, which you're doing a lot of phone calls. So having that call center experience can help me along the line, and that's how I look at it. So that's why I took it because I'm like, even though it's a small pay cut and it might not be exactly where I want to be right now, it's a better environment and I'm getting the experience that I need. So when I later move on, I can say I had this experience and be much easier for me to get this, to get this. And I'm sorry that I'm rambling on, but this is a point for me to tell y'all because this is a big transition in my life. So it'd be easy for me to get that tech support job because a couple months back, I was actually doing an interview for an IT job. The only reason why I didn't get it because, they didn't tell me, but something tells me that I didn't have enough experience, you know. So because I didn't have that experience, granted, I was doing my internship at the time, but that wasn't enough. I guess I wasn't everything that they needed, you know. So with this, plus my knowledge that I have now, that can help a lot. And the schedule also works well with my school schedule as well. Because like I said, most of my stuff is online. I have like one in-person class, which is math, which I take early in the morning before I even have to go to work. So it's just all, you know what? It just all works out at the end. And everything is, you know, coming to, I'm not gonna say coming to an end. It just feels better knowing that now I'm gonna have consistency and something reliable, because with the situation that I'm in with my current job, it just, once it got below 30, I couldn't rely on it no more. The job security no longer was there. You know, the security that I once originally had was no longer there. Because the reason why I went full time, because when I was part time, I was getting 30 and above, but I knew at any time they could take me down below 30 because I'm part time. They can do that. I say at least with full time, they can't take me below 30. So that, and it's just, you know, I'm about to be 25 in December. It's November right now, but I'm about to be 25, and the age of 25, I just can't be in that particular predicament where I don't know if I'm getting paid a good amount or a bad amount. And I know some jobs are like that to a particular degree, but you know, like when you run your own business and things like that. But that's because it's a business, so sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. You know, it happens. But in my case, you know, especially with a company as large as ours, the one that I work at, you know, why can't you pay your employees? So, like I said, I'm not gonna do too much bashing, because there's a lot more that's going on behind the scenes at the job. But I prefer not to say a lot, because the respect of to for out of respect, I can't talk today. Out of the respect for the people that I still work with, because no matter what's going on at the job, you know, my coworkers and my supervisors and all that, there's still people at the end of the day. So out of respect, I'm not gonna get into too much detail. So, but that's all I want to say. I got a new job, so starting December 2nd, December 3rd, and I'm very excited for this. So, with been saying that, if you like this video, go ahead and press the like button. If you dislike this video, hopefully you didn't, but if you did dislike this video, go ahead and press the dislike button, because I always appreciate your honesty. Drop a comment below, subscribe to my channel, and until then, promoting peace, gaming, and wings.